Welcome. Guys, if you can hear me in the chat, type, put a big fat letter B for Bravo in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me. There's only one K of them there. If you can hear me, put a B in the chat. Okay, whoa, oh wow, okay, wow, the flood of B. Welcome to the Biology Paper 2 live stream. You guys got your big biology exam tomorrow, Biology Paper 2. Obviously, it's going to be a very important exam. I reckon there's probably going to be a big question on peat bogs tomorrow's paper. Just looking through all the predictions, I reckon there might even be like a 10 marker on peat bogs for tomorrow. So we're definitely going to go over peat bogs today. Make sure you guys get ready. And obviously peat bogs is a big topic. It's a big topic. It comes up every year and it's always big marks. So make sure we're going to go through that today properly, isn't it, Zishan? Yeah, we're going to go through that very well. But before, we're going to start in a couple of minutes, okay? Just waiting for Zishan to get his peat bog notes, peat bog notes out. And then we're going to go through those topics, yeah? But guys, look, listen. Tomorrow's exam, Biology Paper 2, it's going to be very important, yeah? But, what's it called? Oh, legend. Okay. Yeah, all right. We're gonna test these out. All right, guys, give us 2 minutes. We're just having some. Our laptop is getting bogged down. Pete, you got the cable? Oh, bog's great. Okay, so Pete has got the table. You got the cable for bog. All right. Anyway, obviously we're joking about that. So we've got maths tonight. We've got maths. Zishan's gonna teach you guys some proper maths. Okay. We know what topics are coming up because it's paper 3. It's easy to predict. Yeah, you don't need no predictions. We can go through the hardest topics, and then after that, Zishan's going to teach you guys. Okay, we're just having a bit of problems with the cable, but obviously that's a normal thing. And then we're going to go through your main topics. All right, I'll try another cable. Okay. All right, fine. All right, Zishan's gonna take over, guys, and then all the best for tomorrow's maths exam. Yeah, see you in a bit.
Guys, maths paper 3 tomorrow. Maths paper 3 tomorrow is a big one, big exam, and you guys have studied so much. You've studied so much in these, past few weeks. Yeah, getting ready for this maths paper 3. You've done paper 1, you've done paper 2. So you have a rough idea of what, topics are going to come up. So that's why tonight you need to really lock in. You need to really lock in because these are not topics that are unlikely. These are so much more likely than the paper 1 topics and the paper 2 topics. Does that make sense? So I'm just sorting out some of the final issues, and we're going to start as soon as possible. Okay, guys, write in the chat if biology paper 2 went well yesterday. Write W in the chat if it went well. Write L in the chat if it could have been a bit better. Put L in the chat if it could have been a bit better. LW. Quite a big mixture. Put a poll, moderator. If you can put a poll, try that for us.
You need more cables?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, Cables are being very strange. Okay, guys, just give us 1 second. And we're going to start paper 3 ASAP. 2.2 2.2k people watching. Guys, if you can like this video and if you can subscribe.
What about HDMI to use, because laptop has got HDMI.
Let's try it. If you can subscribe to this channel so we can hit 100k by the end of exam season, that will be awesome, guys. We can finally get the 100k plaque. Of course, we still got paper 2 of physics and we still got paper 2 of chemistry left. So, you know, make sure you're really locked in for those. You know, we're going to try our best to go through all the walkthroughs, all the last minute exam advice possible for those paper 2s as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a slightly different setup. Let me know if you can read the TV. If you can, just give us one sec. Let me transform this, flip horizontal. There we go. Let's see. Is this clear, guys? Is this clear? Let me think. Because we have a bit of technical issues. So the screen is not being mirrored properly. But because it's not being mirrored, I'm going to maybe try do the things like this, as long as it's clear. If we can fix it, of course we're going to try to fix it. You know, our people are trying to fix it in real time, but for now we can start the live stream like this. Oh, dodgy one. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to start it like this.
Okay.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. You going?
Yeah. We're gonna have to just start like this.
Alright, come.
Is there some box I can put this on, maybe? Just that upside down. Okay, guys, ready?
Checking the office.
Let's start, boys and girls. Moderator, are we ready? Yeah, everything ready? If you can do the slow mode and subscribers only, and then we'll start literally right now. Lift this up. Okay. Do you have a thin cloth, microfiber? That's going to be too hot. Okay, boys and girls, let's start. Okay, so for this live stream, we're going to do Edexcel. Okay, the AQA topics are here. But we're going to mainly cover Edexcel because there's not much. Can you put the light back on? There's not much time to do the AQA topics. Okay, so first topics we're going to go over is Venn diagrams. Okay, Venn diagrams has got two parts, the easy part and the hard part. So lock in, because the hard part is actually a grade 9 topic. Okay, lock in, Venn diagrams is the easy part, hard part. We're going to start with Venn diagrams, the easy part, and we're going to go straight to the hard part. Okay. Is everything... So, with Venn diagrams, there are two main things you need to know, okay? There's two main things you need to know. You've got general sets, but you've got a universal set. Okay, you've got general sets, but you've got a universal set as well. Okay? How will the actual question look? They might say the following, okay? So the following thing will say this. The universal set is all integers between 0 to 10. So everything in this diagram, the whole thing, okay, needs to include, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But set A says all even numbers, and set B says all prime numbers. Okay, so how are we going to section this on the diagram? We're going to do the following. We're going to start from the middle. Okay, we're going to always start from the middle. Whenever you have a Venn diagram, always start in the middle. So all even numbers, 0 to 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. And all prime numbers, okay, you got 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, 9 should not be there. Okay, 2, 3, 5, and 7. So where do these two intersect? Of course, is that 2. So we're going to slap that 2 right in the middle. Always start from the middle. Okay. Then once you've filled in the middle, you put the remaining numbers, 4, 6, 8, 10 in the set A. Okay. And you put the other 3 numbers in set B. Okay, but of course 9 should not be there. Okay, so 3, 5, and 7. Okay, and all the remaining numbers, of course you're going to put it, okay, where are you going to put it? In the outside. Okay, so what is the outside going to be? What am I missing from the universal set? I'm missing 0, and 9. 0 and 9. Okay, guys. Actually, there's even one more as well, and the 1. Okay, 0, 1, and 9. Okay. So another very key point is when they want you to write something as a set, always have these curly braces. So these curly braces are very important. Okay. You draw them like this. When you want to write sets, you have to have, those curly braces just like that. Okay, guys? Okay, what else is important about Venn diagrams is the following. If you ever see this symbol, A0, okay, that is everything outside of A. Okay, so for example, if we go back to this diagram, okay, if they said, can you write out the set not A? Okay, can you write out the set not A? I'm going to write curly bracket, these 3 numbers and these 3 numbers. Okay, so curly bracket, 3, 5, 7, 0, 1, and 9. Okay, 3, 5, 7, 0, 1, and 9. Okay, so that's what A complement would be. Okay, and B complement would be all the numbers outside of B. If they say A union B, so this like U symbol, right? You're going to do the following. You're going to write all the numbers inside the 2 sets, basically. Okay? So can you see this bottom bit? It writes it like that. Okay, and intersection N is just the intersection, of course, like we mentioned. Okay, so that would just look like that. Okay? Okay, guys, so that is the easy version of Venn diagrams. So what is the hard version of Venn diagrams? Let's show you this now. They start adding probabilities, of course, as well. So if they say, from this Venn diagram, what is the probability of getting an even number? What is the probability of getting an even number? So set A, of course, is all the even numbers. Okay, so set A is all the even numbers. We're going to count up how many numbers are in here. 5. Okay, so I'm going to write 5 out of, and then how many numbers are in the universal set? Okay, 10 to 11, 0 to 10 is going to be how many? That's 11 numbers. So I'm going to say the probability of picking an even number is 5 out of 11. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So this is now the hard part. So you've got Venn diagrams, you've got probability, which we covered, but now we're going to cover something called conditional probability. Please, guys, make sure you're locked in. Yeah, this is about to get serious right now. So if you're writing something, write Venn diagrams and then conditional probability. Make sure you write that. This is the next topic we're going through. Okay? Okay. If you see this symbol, P, probability of A, and then they draw a vertical line like that, B. This is called conditional probability. Okay? This means probability of A given B. Okay? How do you work out the probability of A given B? Let's look at this example. So this is another Venn diagram, but this is a Venn diagram where the numbers have been added up for us. Okay, so this 5 is like a frequency. That means there was 5 numbers in B. Okay, there was 2 numbers in the middle, 3 numbers in set Y, just that bit, and 1 number in the outside. Okay, if they ask us, find the probability of B intersection Y. Okay, we're going to use the following formula. So watch this, guys. This is very important. B given Y equals, so you have to remember this, guys. It's the probability of B intersection Y divided by the probability of Y. Okay, so you always intersect the two things. You intersect the two things. You put it on the top of the fraction. And then the second thing, you put that on the bottom of the fraction. Okay, probability of Y. So what is that in this diagram? Okay, B intersection Y is of course 2. So there was 2 numbers in the intersection, so I'm going to write 2 out of. Guys, what's the probability of Y? Okay, what is what's the total numbers in the set Y? We're going to do 2 plus 3, which is 5. So B intersection Y over probability of Y is 2 over 5. Does that make sense, guys? Does 2 over 5 make sense, guys? Yeah? Okay, let's move on. Let's try one more. Okay, guys, can you tell me, write in the chat what you think this answer is before I do it? Probability of Y given B. I want to see some answers in the chat right now, guys. Show me some answers in the chat. Show me some answers in the chat, guys. Are they saying the right answer, moderator?
I'm getting a lot of mixed answers.
Getting a lot of what?
Mixed. Do you want to hear some?
Give me one.
2 out of 7.
2 out of 7. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to do.
We're getting some peat bog as well.
Peat bog. Probability of Y intersection B divided by probability of B. So we get 2 out of, good, 2 out of 7. Because there was 7 numbers in total in B, correct. Okay guys, well done. Let's go to the next topic. Or next part of this topic. So slightly harder one now. Probability of B given not Y. So guys, can you use the same structure we just done? So probability of B intersection not Y divided by the probability of not Y. Guys, what do you think the answer is for this? Write in the chat. Let's see if anyone can get the right answer for this. What is the answer for probability of B given not Y. Or Y complement. Any answers, Abdurrahim?
2 out of 6, 3 out of 5. A lot of mixes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the hard part about this, of course, is the top of the fraction, right? The top of the fraction, you've got B intersection not Y, right? So that's the hard part. So B intersection not Y is the following. Where is not Y? Not Y is the 5 and the 1. So where does that 5 and 1 intersect with B? I'm going to put a circle where B is, these two numbers. So where was the intersection? It's that 5, good. So the top of the fraction is going to be 5 out of, and then not Y is just that 5 and that 1, so 5 plus 1 is 6. So whoever said 5 out of 6 is correct. Well done. Okay, guys? Guys, Foundation live stream, check the chat. We have a live stream going on for Foundation. Click that. This is the higher only. This is for higher only, guys. Okay? Okay. Next topic we're going to go through is all the line stuff, okay? So all the line stuff, we've got parallel perpendicular lines, we've got, equation of a circle and tangent. So all the line stuff from right from the beginning all the way to the hardest, we're going to cover that right now, guys. So let's start, okay? Let's start. There's so many ways to do equation of a line question. Okay, so I'm just going to show you my method, of course, and then you can base it off that. If a line passes through the point 15310, find the equation of line L. Guys, if you find this easy, use this revision proactively. Get the answer before me and write it in the chat. Okay, get the answer before me and write it in the chat. If you prefer to just listen and sort of understand what I'm doing, then do that instead. But if you want to be a bit more proactive, whatever question you see on the screen, just write that, work it out on your paper and put it in the chat. So y equals mx plus c, because it's asking for equation of the line L. First thing I want, of course, is my m. What's the formula for gradient? Change in y over change in x. So what is that equal to? So y2 minus y1, so 10 minus 5, divided by 3, take away 1, and you get what? 3 over, sorry, not 3. You get 5 over 2. So that's my first step. So second step now, I'm going to plug this m, okay, into y equals mx plus c. So y equals 5 over 2, or 2.5, if put in the calculator, x plus c. Good, guys. I'm seeing the correct answers in the chat. Once you plug the m back into y equals ms plus c, you're now going to work out plus c. How do you work out plus c? Plug in any of the two coordinates we've got in the original question into a y equals mx plus c. Which one should I plug in? Of course, we should plug in the easier one. Okay, so this becomes 5. So I'm substituting y equals 5, and I'm substituting x equals 1. So 2.5 times 1 plus c, and now I can just rearrange and work out c. Take away 2.5 both sides, and you get your c. So good, guys. If you got c equals 2.5, that's correct. So your final answer is y equals 2.5x plus 2.5. So why did we do this easy question? So we can do the harder questions. Okay? Look what I'm sitting on. There's a cut. That would have been a good clip. I'm going to need some Abdurrahim. Can you give me a calculator? See if they got a calculator. Scientific one. Just ask them not in that chat if they got a calculator. So guys, next topic. We're going to go through is parallel and perpendicular lines. This is super important, guys. This is super, super, super important. But this has not come up yet in paper 2 and paper 3. It has not come up yet in paper 2 and paper 3. So So guys, lock in, because this is about to get very serious now. And this is where you're going to get a lot of marks. What are you saying? Yeah. What are you saying? All right. So, we're going to do this following question. Can you read this, guys? Can you read this? Is it clear? Line A passes through the points 4,7 and 2,1. Find the equation of the line parallel to A that passes through 510. So guys, write the answer before me if you know how to do this. Otherwise, lock in and watch what I do. I'm going to do the following. Of course, I want y equals mx plus c. That's always my goal for these equation of line questions. But what is it saying? It's saying that there's a line A, so let's call this line A. It goes through 2, 1. You don't have to sketch it, by the way, but it's just so you understand what's going on. And 4, 7. Find the line that's parallel to A and that passes through 5, 10. So this parallel line they're talking about, looks like this, okay? And it goes through 5, 10. This blue line that I drew. What's important about this blue line is whenever you see the word parallel means same gradient as line A. So my first step, of course, is going to be work out the gradient of line A, okay? M means gradient in y equals mx plus c. So change y by changing x. Okay, so I'm going to do 7 take away 1 over 4 take away 2, and I get 6 over 2, which is 3. Okay, so I know that my blue line, of course, is going to be with the gradient of 3. So y equals 3x plus c. Good, I'm seeing some answers. Y equals 3x minus 5. Let's see if that is correct. So how do I work at the plus c? To work at the plus c, we're going to plug in the 5, 10 into this y and x. So 10 equals 3 times 5 plus c. Okay, I wrote brackets to mean times. So 3 bracket 5, close bracket means 3 times 5. And then you solve that. So 10 equals 15 plus c, minus 15 both sides. And you get c equals minus 5. So what's the final answer? Y equals 3x minus 5. Okay, guys? Okay, let's move on to the next part now. Okay? Yep, everyone's getting the right answer in the chat. By the way, so this topic we're covering right now, parallel and perpendicular lines. So parallel, what did we say? It means that the gradient m is the same. For perpendicular, what does it mean? M becomes minus 1 over the old gradient. Okay? M becomes minus 1 over the old gradient. Okay, chat? So, if my original line was like this, okay, this red line, which is parallel, okay, the gradient, if this gradient was 6, my red line is going to have m equals 6. But this green line, okay, this green line is perpendicular. Okay, so what would be the gradient of this green line? M equals minus 1 over 6. So that's basically the key rule. Green line is my perpendicular, red line is my parallel. Same gradient, okay, for parallel, minus 1 over old gradient for perpendicular. And if it's and of course this will be 90 degrees. Okay? And if the original line had a fraction as the gradient, then the perpendicular line is going to have m equals, what you do is you flip the fraction. So it becomes 3 over 2, and then you add a minus if it was positive, and if it was negative, you make it positive. Okay, so that's basically the trick for parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, I'm going to move on to perpendicular line now. We've got a perpendicular line question now. I'm going to put it on the screen. If you know how to do this, then try to do it before me. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's start, guys. Let's try this. Abdurrahim, is it definitely clear, yeah? They can read. Okay, let's start. Okay, find it. Line A passes through 1, 5, and 5, 7. Okay, so first step, of course, I'm going to do is what? Just work out the gradient of the original line. Okay, line A. 1, 5. Oh, I need to charge this. It's blocked. Charge it. So another head.
Which one charge?
This iPad might run out.
It's already got back and forth.
It's not going to run out, yeah? 5, 7. I'm going to work out the gradient of this. So I'm going to do what? 7 take away 5 over 5 take away 1. You get 2 over 4, which is 1 over 2. Okay, guys? So that's the original. But I'm interested in the perpendicular to A. So basically this blue line, remember? And what do we know about this blue line? It goes through minus 1,7. So y equals mx plus c for the blue line. What's the m going to be? M is going to be good. I'm seeing some correct answers. You flip this and make it negative. So 2 over 1 and a minus. Well, of course, we know that minus 2 divided by 1 is just minus 2. Okay, so y equals minus 2x plus c. Okay, and what is the plus c? Plug the minus 1,7 into my x and y. 7 equals minus 2 times minus 1 plus c. And then what is the answer? Minus 2 to both sides. C equals 5. So what's the final answer? Y equals minus 2x plus 5. Well, people writing minus 2x plus 5 in the chat? Yeah, good. Well done, guys. That means you guys are, you're locked in. Okay. Guys, we're going to do now the hard version of parallel and perpendicular lines. So if you understood this topic, okay, we're going to now do the hard version of this, okay, which is called, I'm going to leave this on the screen for 1 second. Ooh. It's still parallel and perpendicular lines. It's just a hard question now. So guys, if you know how to do this hard question, then try it. Otherwise, listen in. We're going to try this hard question on parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, this is probably a 5-mark question. This is probably a 5-mark question. Okay. So I've got this diagram. Okay, it gives me all this information. And then it says, C is the midpoint of AB. DCE is perpendicular to ACB. Work out the equation of the line DCE. So let's try this. Okay, let's try this. So it seems quite hard, but we're going to have a go, okay? Oops. So I'm going to work out the gradient of whatever I can. If you ever see a hard question like this, guys, just work out whatever you can. Don't worry about what they're asking. Just get some marks and work out what they can. I know the coordinates of this line, red line, yeah, 0,9 and what? And 7,0. So I'm just going to work out the gradient of the red line. Okay, ACB gradient. Okay, so what is the gradient? Change in y over change in x. 9 take away 0 over 0 take away 7. Okay, so 9 over minus 7. It's a bit of a strange gradient, but it is what it is, okay? Because the DCE line we're interested in is perpendicular, that means I know the gradient of DCE. So DCE gradient, I'm already seeing it in the chat, well done. DCE gradient is going to be, because we saw the word perpendicular, we're going to flip it and we're going to 7 over 9 and we're going to make it positive. Okay, we're going to make it positive because this one was negative. Okay, So DCE equation now. What is the equation of DCE? Okay, y equals mx plus c, and I know m is 7/9. Okay, but the plus c is my problem here. What is the coordinate I'm going to use? What is the coordinate I'm going to use for DCE to work out the plus c, guys? I know everyone's writing the answers in the chat, but what is the coordinate I'm going to actually use to work out the plus c? They said c is the midpoint of AB. Okay, so I need to work out, of course, that c coordinate. How do you work out the coordinate of c if it's the midpoint? We're going to do, okay, add the x coordinates of a and b together, 0 plus 7, divide that by 2. Okay, and then add the y coordinates of a and b together and also divide that by 2. Okay, what do we get? When we do that, you can put that in the calculator, you'll get 3.5, 4.5. That is the coordinate for C. Now that I've got the coordinate of C, I'm now going to use that coordinate, 3.5, 4.5, and plug that into y equals 7/9x plus c, and then get my final plus c. Okay, so 4.5 equals 7/9 times 3.5 plus c. Okay, and of course you should have a calculator, so just plug that all into your calculator, and let's see what we get. So I should get C equals 16/9. Okay, I just did it in one step. Okay, I did 4.5 take away 7/9 times 3.5, and I get C equals 16/9. So that's basically it now. So my final answer is y equals 7/9x plus 16/9. Okay, you can turn that into decimals if you want, but fractions is normally better. Okay, guys? So I hope that made sense. I'm going to leave that on the screen for like maybe 5 more seconds, and we're going to go to the next topic. Guys, did that make sense? Right? Yes, if that made sense, please. Just so I know I'm not waffling. Okay? Good. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Okay, let's move on now. Guys, we're gonna post this on YouTube with the timestamps afterwards. So even if you're confused, you can make a note of which topics you're confused on, and then just rewatch that part after this live is finished. Okay, guys. Next topic: equation of circles and tangents. Write this down. We're gonna go through this topic now. Okay, guys. It's getting serious. It's getting serious here. Okay, boys and girls. And any other agendas? It's getting serious now. Let's start this. Okay. So, first thing is the following. Equation of a circle is always in this form. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So, if you have an equation like this, x squared plus y squared equals 100, okay, this is the equation of a circle. They can ask you two things from this. They can say part A, what's the center of the circle? Your answer for Edexcel is always 0, 0, okay? Then part B, they can ask you, what's the radius of the circle? If the equation is x squared plus y squared equals radius squared, then that means radius squared equals 100, square root both sides, and you get plus minus 10 technically, but we're just going to only be interested in the positive version. So the radius equals 10. Okay, guys? Okay, let's look at now an actual question on this. So this is a big question here. If you can answer this question, okay, then you're on track for getting a lot of marks in this exam. Okay, if you can answer this question, you're on track to getting a lot of marks in this exam. Can you read this, guys? Is it unclear? Sorry about the setup tonight. There's been some technical difficulties. We'll make sure we fix this for chemistry paper 2 and physics paper 2. Okay. P is the point 34 in the circle, x squared plus y squared equals 25. It's talking about that point P there. It says work out the equation of the tangent to the circle at P. So this is a classic circle and tangent question. Memorize what I'm about to do and you're going to get 5 out of 5 marks. Okay, step 1. It's always the same method for these kind of questions. Step 1. If you ever see an equation of a tangent on a circle, so of course this line here is the tangent. Step 1 is you're going to work out the gradient. So work out gradient O to P. If O is the center. Okay, I'm going to work out this gradient here, O to P. Of course, O is going to be 0, 0. P is 3, 4. So gradient of OP is 4 take away 0 over 3 take away 0, which is 4 over 3. Okay, that's always my first step. Second step, good guys, I think I'm seeing quite a few correct answers in the chat, so this is good, well done. Second step is the following. Because I've got the gradient of OP now, OP is actually the radius of the circle. If you have a radius and a tangent, this is a circle theorem for you guys. If you have a radius and a tangent, okay, they always meet at 90 degrees. What do we know about radiuses and tangents that meet at 90 degrees? They meet at 90 degrees. So that means that the line P is perpendicular. The line P is perpendicular. So I can work out gradient of tangent now, okay, at P. Because it's just M equals, flip that, and you add a minus 3 over 4. Okay, and then finally, third step, equation of tangent. Just do what we've always been doing now. Y equals mx plus c with my new m and this p coordinate. Okay, and you should get the answer. So y equals minus 3 over 4x plus c, and I'm going to plug in 3, 4. Okay, so you should get 4 equals minus 3 over 4 times 3 plus c, and then just rearrange that. And people, of course, have already written it in the chat. Okay, so you should get 25 over 4. So the final answer is y equals minus 3 over 4x plus 25 over 4. Guys, give yourself a pat on the back if you got the same answer as this. Okay, I'm going to leave this on the board for about a few seconds now. I'm going to go to the next topic. Please tell me if that made sense, and let's move on. Did that make sense, guys? Okay, good. Let's go on, let's move on. Okay, direct and inverse proportion. Let's go through the next topic. It's called direct and inverse proportion. Okay, I just need to find it. Here we go. So again, easy topic. It's kind of a hard topic to be fair. It's actually a grade 7 topic, but it's easy marks. Hard topic, but easy marks. Why is the background so loud? What do they mean by that?
I think they might be talking about
them lot. I see. Okay, so direct inverse proportion, there's two types, direct proportion and inverse proportion. So let's try this question. S is directly proportional to T When S is 4, T is 12. Find the value of T when S is 7. Guys, if you already know how to do this, you know how it goes now, you know the drill. Answer this question before me. Okay? Okay, from this first sentence, we need to make an equation. If S is directly proportional to T, you're going to write S equals K times T. Okay, whenever you see the word directly proportional, you just write the first letter S equals K times the second letter, like that. Okay, if it said the word inversely instead, inversely proportional, you would write S equals K over T instead. So those are your two types of questions in this thing. Directly proportional, you do K times T. Inversely proportional, you do K divided by T. Okay. Well, of course, this question says directly, so we're going to do it like this. Once you've written this equation, your goal is to work out what K is. Okay? How are you going to do that? Substitute in the numbers that they told us. So substitute in 4 equals K times 12. Okay? So 4 equals 12K, and then solve for K, divide both sides by 12. Okay, you get 4 over 12. Okay, or 1 over 3. Once you get K, good guys, very good. I'm seeing some good answers in the chat. Once you get K, we're going to substitute that back into the main equation here. So instead of S equals KT, I'm going to write S equals a third T. Okay, and that was my third step. Fourth and final step, you're going to look at the last sentence now and plug this in. To work out the value of T when S is 7, so I'm going to plug in S equals 7 into my S equals KT with my K equals a third now. So 7 equals a third T. And now just solve for T. How do you solve for T? Times both sides by 3. 21 equals T. Wow, I got some smart people in my chat today. I got some very smart people in my chat today. Well done. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for 3 seconds and we're going to go to the next topic. We're going to go to the next topic. Okay. Let's go. Okay, not the next topic, sorry, the next part of direct and inverse proportion. So the next part is, of course, we've got inverse proportion. So F is inversely proportional to root G. So guys, you know the drill. Try get the answer before me. First step is to what? Before I even read the question, is turn this into an equation. F equals K divided by root G. That's my first step. Because it says inversely proportional. So I do K over what they say. Second step, what is the second step? We need to work out what K is. Okay, how do we do that? Plug in the information they gave us, 1.6 and 25. So 1.6 equals K divided by root 25. Okay, and then just solve this for K. So 1.6 equals K over 5, because root 25 is 5, times both sides by 5. You can do that in the head. Of course, you are allowed a calculator, so just use a calculator. K equals 8. What do we do with this? K equals 8. Plug that back in to the main equation. So we got, plug that back into, sorry, this main equation. So F equals 8 over root G. And then find the value of F when G is 16. So I'm going to plug in G equals 16. So 8 over root 16. So F equals 8 over 4, which is 2. Well done, guys. Very good, very good, very good. Very, very good. Excellente. 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 We're going to do one hard version of this now, and we're going to move on to the next topic. What is a hard version of this? This is probably the hardest version of direct inverse you're going to get. So guys, this is predicted topics, so make sure you're locked in because this very well might come up in your exam. So, okay, let's read this. Z is directly proportional, x is directly proportional to z squared. X is directly proportional to z squared. So guys, what's the first equation I should write? X equals k z squared. Okay, and then I'm going to work out k using the information they told me. And then the next thing is what? Y is inversely proportional to x cubed. So I'm going to say y equals k over x cubed. And then how do I work out that k? I'm going to use that information to work out that k. Okay, so let's just do that. Notice how I didn't even read the question yet. Okay, this is a tactic you need to have in the maths exam. Any bits of information they give you, just do what you can with it, and eventually that's going to lead you to the final answer. Because if you read this question first, you might get a bit confused. Find a formula for y in terms of z. They're talking about this y here, but the z is over here, so you might get confused, right? But let's just do what we can and what we know about this topic. So guys, tell me your equations for x and y. I'm going to work it out now. Let's see what we get. I'm going to plug in x equals 48 and z equals 4. So k times 4 squared. 48 equals 16k. So k equals 48 divided by 16, of course, which is 3. So plug that back into there. So x equals 3z squared. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing now for my other equation. Y equals k over x cubed. Okay, I'm going to work out this k by plugging in x equals 3 and y equals 2. Okay, so plug in x equals 3 and y equals 2. So 2 equals k over 3 cubed. So 2 equals k over 27. So k equals 54, because I'm going to times the size by 27 here. Okay, and then plug that back into the y equation, and you get y equals 54 over x cubed. Okay, guys, what do I do from here? What do I do from here, guys? It says find a formula for y in terms of z, but the issue is my y equation is in terms of x. So what am I supposed to do? Well, notice how this equation has basically the missing link. My y is in terms of x, okay, but this x is in terms of z here. So I need to basically combine these two formulas together. How do I do that? Very straightforward. Okay, very straightforward. Of course, a lot of people are writing it in the chat already, which is very good. Okay, I'm going to say y equals 54 over x cubed, but I'm going to substitute in x equals 3z squared into that x cubed. So y equals 54 over 3z squared cubed. 3z squared cubed. Okay, so y equals, break that down now, 54 over, guys, who can tell me what 3z squared cubed is? Cube, what the hell is going in that room? Cubed is going to go to the 3 and the z. So it becomes 3 cubed, which is 27. Okay, 27. And then z squared cubed, you do the 2 times 3. So it becomes z to the power of 6. Wow, chat. I think you guys are actually quite smart, to be fair. I think you guys are actually quite smart, to be fair. Because everyone's saying the right answer. Okay, and that is your final answer for part A. Okay, and I noticed something very amazing here. 54 over 27 is just 2. So your final answer, if you want to keep it as something simple form, 2 divided by z to the power of 6. Wow. Well done, well done, well done. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff here. Brilliant stuff here. Okay, so that's part A done. Okay, part B says hence or otherwise find y when z equals 5. So we're just going to use the new equation that we've built and just plug in z equals 5 and Bob's your uncle. That was class. Oh, that's quite massive, but this is a big thing. I guess a massive number actually. But it's fine. Okay. Class. Okay, next topic, guys. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic. We've already done Venn diagrams, whoever said that. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. We've already done quite a lot. Okay. There's a speed distance time come up. Let's come and do that at the end though. Let's quickly look at something like this. So we're going to quickly look at these combined ratio questions that has not really come up yet, okay? So guys, there's a combined ratio topic in Edexcel that has not really come up yet. So we're going to quickly cover that and go to the next topic, okay? So if you want to call this, maybe topic name, combined ratios or ratio fractions problem 2 is what we call the worksheet. If you know how to do this topic, okay, try to get the answer before me. Okay, Simon writes down 3 numbers, A, B, and C. They've got a ratio for A to B and a ratio for B to C. Then they say, find A to B to C. Okay? How do you do this topic? Very straightforward. Write the 2 fractions separately. Okay, find out what's in common between the 2 fractions. Of course, it's B. B is in common, right? Because they both share B. And whatever's in common, make it the same. So right now, this B is a 3, this B is a 5. So what's the lowest common multiple between 3 and 5 is 15. So I'm going to times this one by 5, times this one by 3. This becomes 15, and that becomes 15. Okay, but because you times one part by 5, you have to times the other part by 5, and you have to times that one by 3. Okay, so it becomes A to B becomes 10 to 15, and B to C becomes 15 to 12. Okay, so what's the final answer? A to B to C. So A to B to C now becomes, you pick the new A, which is 10, the new B, which is 15, and the new C, which is 12. Okay? Easy stuff. Okay? Finding that easy, well done. It's a good sign. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. We're smashing this. Okay, next topic, velocity time graphs or speed time graphs. Okay, velocity time graphs or speed time graphs, you can call it. Are you guys ready, yeah? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Okay, luckily this is a grade 9 topic, but I think personally it's probably the easiest. It's probably the easiest grade 9 topic you're gonna get. It's a grade 9 topic, but it's probably the easiest grade 9 topic you're gonna get. Okay, guys? Why is this the easiest grade 9 topic you're gonna get? Okay. The reason why is because in velocity time graphs, there's only 2 things you need to know. In velocity time graphs, there's only 2 things you need to know. Okay. First thing is that acceleration equals, write this down, chat, if you're writing notes, gradient. And number 2, distance traveled equals area under graph. These are the only 2 things you need to know about velocity time graphs. That's why it's such an easy topic. Is it right if you grab me that box there? Does that make sense, guys? So write this down, and let's look what this actually means. Okay. So what this means is the following. If you've got a velocity time graph, okay, and they ask for something like this. What did they ask? Give me one sec. Let's go back. And they ask you, what is the distance covered in this graph? What's the distance covered in this graph? Yeah. What do we just say distance covered is, or distance traveled? The area. Can you guys? What is the area under this graph? I'm going to split it into 3 sections, or you can just use the area of a trapezium. Yeah. Distance covered is just going to be the area. How do you work out the area of this? 2 methods. Just work out area of a trapezium by using half a plus b times h. Okay, what's the a plus b going to be in this situation? It's the 2 parallel sides. So it's that side and that side. Okay, so what is that distance? So be careful. These actually go up in 2s. Do you see? So that top length is actually 8. So 8 plus, and then what's the bottom length? 12. 8 plus 12 times, and then height, of course, is just the distance between the 2 parallel lines, which is 4. Okay? So the answer is a half, 20 times 4, and you're going to get 40. Okay, guys? Why am I just seeing 6, 7? Can you get rid of that moderator?
Yeah, guys.
Just get rid of his moderator, please. Okay, guys? 8 and 12. My bad. Yeah, you're right. No, you guys are not right. Are you right? I might have made a mistake there. Let me go back. Yeah, you guys are right. That distance there is 8 take away 4, which is 4. Okay, so 4 plus 12. Is that what you guys were saying? I think that's what you guys were picking me up on. Okay, so you get 16 times 4 instead. Apologies. Whoever spotted that is correct. So half times 16 times 4 is what? Half times 16 times 4 is 32. Okay, if you don't like area of a trapezium, what could you do instead? You could just split this into triangles and rectangles. Because look, that's a triangle there. Just work out the area of that triangle. That's a rectangle there. Work out the area of that rectangle. And then you've got another triangle there. And you should still get 32. Okay, and that's the distance traveled as well. You should get the same answer. Okay, and of course, acceleration, right? So imagine they say to you guys, what's the acceleration between 0 to 4 seconds? What's the acceleration between 0 to 4 seconds? What did we say acceleration is? Gradient. We said acceleration is gradient, right? So I just need to work out the gradient, this line, okay, which is very easy. 0, 0, 4, 4. So just do 4 take away 0, or 4 take away 0. The gradient is just 1. So that acceleration is 1. So for 0 to 4 seconds, the acceleration is 1. What would the gradient be between 4 and 8 seconds? Because it's just a horizontal line, okay, the gradient or the acceleration would be 0. Okay, the gradient would be 0 for that. What does it mean if the acceleration is 0? It means that it's traveling with constant velocity. It's still moving, because look, the velocity is 4, so it's still moving, but it's just not accelerating. Okay? Very good. And here, of course, if you do the same method, okay, just to change y over change x, you should get -1. Okay, you should get -1 for the acceleration. Guys, do you prefer me sitting down or do you prefer me standing up? Do you prefer me sitting down or do you prefer me standing up? Write it in the chat. It's just the new setup for today because unfortunately there were some technical issues with the iPad. We couldn't really screen share, but we'll get that fixed for the next lives. What are they saying? Standing. Someone said squat. Squat. I can do 100 squats.
Someone said stand up and close the door is too loud.
First. Guys, 1K likes and I'll do 100 squats on camera. Okay, this is the last part of velocity time graphs. So what they might do is the velocity time graph looks like this, where it's curved. Stand up, Unc. I'm not that old, mate. I'm not on uncle yet. Did you get rid of that person's moderator, yeah? You're spamming 6-7.
Yeah, he's not best for loss of privilege.
Yeah, you guys, if you want to be a moderator, you need to say something useful, something a bit funny. Don't if you get a moderator, we can revoke it as well because you guys are writing some fried stuff. Okay, acceleration. Let's say this question says, work out the acceleration at t equals 4. The person says, can you work out the acceleration at t equals 4? So what do you do in a situation like this? Where the line is curved. You do the following. You go to t equals 4, and then you go to the line, okay? And then you get your ruler, and you draw a tangent. Whoever said tangent, the first person that said tangent, give them moderator, because they're correct. Okay, you get your ruler and you draw a tangent. So your tangent should look basically like this. Okay, of course use a ruler, don't do what I just did there. Did you find who said tangent first?
Yeah, it was Malaika.
Malaika, here's your moderator. You deserve that. Once you get the line, you then just work out the gradient of that tangent. Okay? So how do you work out gradient of a tangent? Again, it's up to you guys. You can use the triangle formula or you can use change in y by change in x. That's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to pick 2 coordinates on this line. Okay? So I got 8,6 and 2,3. Okay? And I'm just going to do change in y by change in x with those 2 coordinates. Yeah? So 6 take away 3 over 8 take away 2. I get 3 over 6, which is 0.5. Did anyone say 0.5? Okay, so the acceleration is 0.5. Acceleration is 0.5. Very good. So that is, guys, everything to know about velocity time. So remember those 2 things: distance traveled, area under curve, and second thing was gradient is acceleration. Yeah? Very good. Okay. Next topic. There's a lot of stuff we can do. What time is it? 9:40. So we've got about 20 minutes left. What should we do in 20 minutes? Let's go over probability equation. So guys, probability of course has come up, but the grade 9 kind of probability questions has not come up yet. So we're going to quickly do a grade 9 probability question. Oh, is it Maghrib already?
Yeah.
Should we take a quick break? 2-minute break?
Should I put a poll up?
Ask them, do you want to do a quick 2 minute? Actually, can you just ask Mohammed to? Yeah, he might be in that room. I'll do a topic and then after this topic, we might do a break, guys, okay? Okay, probability equations. This is the grade 9 probability questions, okay? Okay, let's do this. And then we might have a break after this for like a couple minutes, okay? Orange and green lolly sticks in a bag, okay? What do you say? It's gone.
You can get one of the map slots.
Do you want to plug it? Just need to plug the newsletter.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. After this, yeah. Try this question, see if you get the answer before me. Try this question, see if you get the answer before me. Okay? We've got orange and green lolly sticks in a bag. Okay? Orange, green. They're in the ratio 3 to 1. Okay? Orange to green, 3 to 1. But now they're talking about probabilities. The probability of getting both green in 2 picks. So they're picking, and after they picked twice, they get a probability of 1 over 20 for getting both green. So I need to sort of turn this into a tree diagram, almost, yeah? Tree diagram, orange, green, green. But the issue is that I don't know how many oranges there are and greens there are. It's a ratio. So when you have this situation, we're going to times this ratio by x, because there's 3x oranges and 1x green lolly sticks in the bag. That's more accurate. Okay, it's more accurate to say there's 3x's and there's 1x green. Okay, there's not literally 3 orange lolly sticks and there's not literally 1 green lolly stick. So what's the probability of picking a orange lolly stick? Okay, of course it's going to be 3x out of the total. Total is 4x. And what's the probability of picking a green? It's going to be 1x out of 4x. But they're interested in getting both green from the pick. So watch this. If I pick a green lolly stick and I take it out of the bag, okay? How many lolly sticks are left in the bag if there was originally 1x? Okay? Why is everyone saying 4? Oh, the answer is 4 or something first. Okay. How many green lolly sticks are left if I picked 1 from 1x? We're going to say 1x minus 1 green lolly sticks left. Out of, there was 4x, but if I picked that 1 green lolly stick and I kept it out of the bag, how many is left? 4x minus 1. Good. Yeah, that's what you mean. So the probability of picking a green the first time is 1x out of 4x. The probability of picking a green the second time is 1x minus 1 out of 4x minus 1. What do you do as you go along the tree diagram? You times. Okay? So we're going to do this probability times this probability equals the ratio that they gave me here, the fraction they gave me here, 1 out of 20. Once you set up this equation, you now just need to solve this. Once you've set up this equation, you now just need to solve this. So someone asked a good question. Melokanucha said, should it not mention that the green lollipop either gets put back in or not? So in this question, because they didn't mention if they put the lollipop back in or not, you assume that they took it and they left it outside. Okay? If they don't say otherwise, you assume they left it outside. Unless it says they picked a lollipop and then they replaced it again. Then you assume that they don't take it out, and it will just be still 1x over 4x and then 1x over 4x again. Okay, hope that answers the question. Okay, and now I just need to solve this. I just need to solve this now, okay? So guys, see if you can solve this before me. Times 1x minus 1 over 4x minus 1 equals 1 over 20. So let's try to solve this. This is a bit of algebra practice for you guys. So first thing I'd do is I'd cancel out the x. I'm not allowed to cancel out this x because there's too much stuff going on the top and bottom. But this one I'm allowed to cancel out because everything is just timesing. So this becomes 1 over 4 times 1x, of course, I can just write x minus 1 over 4x minus 1 equals 1 over 20. Okay, when you times two fractions together, you do the top times the top, and you do the bottom times the bottom. So it becomes, top just becomes x minus 1, because 1 times something is always the same thing, and the bottom becomes 4 times 4x minus 1, so 16x minus 4 equals 1 over 20. So notice how I did the 4 to both things, okay? You have to do it to both. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got a fraction equals a fraction, so I'm going to bring the bottom of this fraction up and the bottom of this fraction up. This is called cross multiplication in maths, okay? So bring the bottoms of the fractions up, so the 20 now goes with the x minus 1, and the 16x minus 4 goes with the 1, okay? So cross multiplying should look like this now. 20 bracket x minus 1 equals 1 bracket 16x minus 4. Sajad.
How are you, man?
Good.
Good, yeah?
Very good.
How's it going?
Very good. And now let's solve this, expand this out. And you get 20x minus 20 equals 16x minus 4. And this is just basic algebra, guys. If you don't know how to solve this, that's a bit mad, but I'll solve it for you. Minus 16x to both sides, and then plus 20 to, and then what would you get? You get 4x minus 20 equals minus 4. And then finally plus 20 to both sides, 4x equals 16. So x equals 4. Bob's your uncle. Bang. Okay, is that the final answer? Is x equals 4 the final answer? Let's quickly go back to the main question and double check the context. Okay, is x equals 4 actually the... someone said, can you put all the working out on one page? Yes, sorry guys, it's going to be a bit messy. But we are going to, what do you call it? We are uploading these on timestamps, with timestamps, okay? After the live stream is finished, so you can go back and watch that afterwards. So I'm going to go back to the context. And is that what they're actually interested in? Find the number of green lollies. Yes, the number of green lollies was just 1x, and I just worked out x is 4. So of course there's 4 green. But if they said work out the number of orange lollies, I would have had to times my final answer by 3, okay? Because orange is 3x. So just be careful and don't lose, silly marks because you didn't read the actual question, okay? Okay. Guys, how are we doing for time? Okay guys, we're going to have a quick 2-minute break, but we have our beloved moderator coming here and he's going to get some predictive topics from you guys that you want to cover, okay? So BRB. My laptop is there as well, so you can see what they're writing.
Yeah. I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready for me.
What reveal?
Guys, are they ready? Oh, chat. What are we saying, chat? Chat to me. The pen, yeah? Let's get some predictive topics, yeah? Thank you. Proofs. Let's get some proofs in. Don't violate my handwriting because it's not the best. Trig with bearings. Guys, I recommend bringing in your phone. It is no, do not listen to that advice. You're not allowed to bring your phone in to the to the exam. Oh, the stream is a bit buggy. Guys, am I bugging out?
How guys, come on. Let's see, constructions, is that even a topic? I don't think that's a topic. Circle, yeah, that's a good one. But I think we've covered circle theorems, that's the thing. We might have covered it. Guys, make sure to ask the invigilator for help if you get stuck. I don't know about that one. Give me mod, please. No, best bro, you've lost your mod privileges. You kept spamming. Yeah, I gave you 2 chances. That's your mod privilege gone. Let me see that hairline, big man. I don't know, man. Construction of loci, that's a good one, you know. It's a very good one. Okay, let's get some more topics in, guys. Come on. Let's get some topics in, please. Enlargements. Harbor process. That's not even maths, bro. What the hell? I like your fit, thank you. Okay, exact trig. I think we've done these though. Proof. I swear we've done these in like paper 1, no? I'll write it down anyway. Who am I? Don't worry. Hairline reveal. Nah, because I'm going to get clipped. If I do a hairline reveal, I'm going to get clipped. Everyone make sure to use... No, don't use that. Okay, cumulative frequency. That's a good one. Guys, don't violate my handwriting, please. I didn't get my pen license until I was in year 9. Venn diagram with 3 circles. I saw... oh yeah, fairs. You don't need to bait me out though. Do you take... Okay, these questions are very, very not related to the topics. Congruent shapes, is that a topic, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Titration's chemistry, you fish. How many views are we on? Oh, we still 2K, bro. That's nothing. Come on, guys. Come on. Saw you at the Arsenal parade. I did not go to the Arsenal parade. Photosynthesis is biology. I know you, when you was in your exam, you went in fired. Oh, we've got a little guest reveal. Are we coming on the stream?
Come on, lads. How are you guys?
Oh my days, guys.
Good, yeah?
We got big Saj. We got Sajad on the stream. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it to Sajad for now. Yeah? So Sajad, take the floor, please. Yeah? There you go.
Okay. Lads, how you guys doing? You right? Who we got here today? Let me see. Where's the camera? Is it there?
Yeah,
okay. Lads.
Guys, we've got a special guest with us. We're going to carry on right now. But we've got a special guest with us. This is one of the best tutors we have in the UK for maths GCSE. If you can tell us just some last minute advice, they've got their final paper 3 tomorrow.
Of course.
Final paper 3 tomorrow. You know, there's so much stuff they could be thinking. Just give us, you know, last minute piece of advice for them, just to boost them, so they feel a bit more confident.
Definitely. What I'll say to you guys definitely for tomorrow is leave nothing blank. You know, do every question you can. Even if you don't know the question, how to do it and stuff.
Yes.
Do like, you know, working out for it, you know? Do anything for it. Who's here? I want to see actually who's here. But honestly guys, tomorrow in your exam, don't panic, you know? It's very easy to panic in the exam, but just take 5 minutes, relax, calm down, and I promise you, you guys will smash it tomorrow.
Okay.
Who else is here? I'm trying to see. Come on. And obviously...
Okay, guys, I'm back, and let's finish this off. These are some pretty fries topics. It's good that I'm predicting them and not you guys, but we are actually going to go through proof and cumulative frequency. So we are actually going to go through those 2. So that is a good, whoever wrote those, well done. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's fix this up and let us start proof. So guys, the first topic we're going to do now, since the break has ended, is proof. Okay, so let's get locked in and ready to write some stuff down then. Okay. Okay, let's start. Can you see this, chat? Is this clear? Need to get a microfiber cloth. To be fair, we just didn't expect this setup today, so apologies for that. We didn't expect this setup today. There was some technical issues that led us to this. Apologies from our side. Okay, let's start. So with proof, you need to know the following things, okay? How to represent even numbers and how to represent odd numbers. Okay, even numbers in maths, what's the main thing that they all share is they're all divisible by 2. That's why we call an even number 2 times n, because they always have that factor of 2. For odd numbers, okay, how odd numbers work is we say odd numbers is always 2n, okay, to represent an even number, and then what we're going to do is we're going to plus an odd number as well. The most basic odd number is 1. So even numbers we represent as 2n, odd numbers we represent as 2n plus 1. It doesn't have to be 2n plus 1 though. You could say 2n minus 1, you could say 2n plus 3. Okay, so the main thing is just that you have an even plus or odd. Okay, so we're going to call these the fundamental blocks of even and odd. Okay, you have to memorize these 3 things as well. 1, 2, 3. Even number plus even is always even. Okay, even plus odd is always odd. And odd plus odd is always even. And number 2 is the reason why we use 2n plus 1. Okay, because we've got even plus odd equals odd. Okay, so that's like your reasoning behind it. Okay. You also need to know about how to represent consecutive numbers. Okay, you need to know how to represent consecutive numbers. Okay. So what consecutive numbers are the following. Look, 7, 8, and 6 are consecutive. Okay? It's the number before and after. That's what consecutive means. So in maths, say I've got any number n. Okay, I'm going to represent a number as n. Okay? What is consecutive to n when it comes to letters now? Algebra, we say n plus 1 and n minus 1. Okay? That's what it means to be consecutive. Okay? Just like 6, 7, and 8. Okay, what about consecutive even numbers? Okay? What do consecutive even numbers look like in maths? So look, 10 is an even number. What's consecutive even number to it? 12 and 8, right? So if I go an even number in terms of algebra, what's consecutive to 2n? Okay, you've got 2n plus 2 and 2n minus 2. Does that make sense? Because look, you have to plus 2 and you have to minus 2 to get the consecutive even number. Yeah, the numbers next to it. Okay, guys? So what's consecutive odd? Think about 7. What's consecutive to 7? Not 5, not 6. Okay, it's actually 5 and 9. Okay, if we're considering consecutive odd numbers. So if I start with the most basic odd number in terms of algebra, in terms of letters, what's consecutive to 2n plus 1? We've got 2n plus 3 and 2n minus 1. Okay, because you're going to minus 2 and plus 2, just like how we did to this. Does that make sense, chat? Okay. Let's now let's apply all this logic into an actual question now. So we're going to apply this logic into an actual question. Okay, chat? Well, actual questions, plural. How much time we got? Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay. So first kind of question we've got is the following. Show that this is always odd. So guys, you know the drill. If you know how to do this already, try do it before me. Otherwise, just listen in and let's try this together. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this out. Okay, so just do your regular expanding brackets. So you get 8n squared plus 2n plus 4n plus 1. So you get 8n squared plus 6n plus 1. Chat, how do I, now that I expanded this, how can I prove that this is always odd? Who can tell me how to prove that this is always odd? Write in the chat what my last line should be now. What should my last line be now? Okay. To show that it's always odd, I'm going to factorize out 2 from the first two numbers. So 2 bracket 4n squared plus 3n, close bracket. Then I'm going to write that remaining plus 1. Okay. Because I can factorize out 2 from the first two letters, two numbers, that means that this represents an even number, because I've got a factor of 2 there. And then look what happens after the even number. I've got an odd number there. So even plus odd is always odd. Okay, there you go. That is my proof. You don't need any more than that. You don't need to write some fancy paragraph. Yeah, for proof questions, if you can literally just show that you've got 2 bracket plus an odd number, and you've shown that it's an odd number. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Does that make sense, chat? Right, yes, if that makes sense, chat, or was this confusing? If this is confusing, let me know. Otherwise, let's move on. Good, good, good. Very good. Well done. Seeing lots of yeses. Okay, let's do a hard proof one now. Imagine they said this. Prove the okay, can you even read this? Sorry, you're gonna have to focus on this. Prove the difference of, so this is a very crazy question. Prove the difference of, so, okay, how do I build this up? Difference means what in maths? Difference means take away. So prove the difference of the squares of. So that means something's being squared. 2 consecutive odd numbers. We just covered, chat, what consecutive odd numbers is, right? If I go an odd number, what's consecutive to it? 2n plus 3 and 2n minus 1. So the difference of the squares of 2 consecutive odd numbers. So let's pick maybe these two. It doesn't actually matter which 2 you pick. You could have actually picked these 2. But I'm going to pick 2n plus 3, which is the bigger number. Take away 2n plus 1, which is the smaller number. Okay, prove that the difference of 2 consecutive odd numbers is always a multiple of 8. So I had to set this up myself and then show that this is always a multiple of 8. Okay, so let's try that, chat. Okay, try do this before me if you want to have a go. Otherwise, just watch. So 2n plus 3 squared looks like this, minus 2n plus 1 squared looks like that. Now let's expand this out. So be very careful when you're expanding, chat. This becomes 4n squared plus 6n plus 9. Plus another 6n plus 9 minus. So guys, even the grade 9ers, please watch what I'm about to do. When you've got minus 2 brackets timesing, or even just 1 bracket, please make sure that after you expand, you write this as still 1 big bracket, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this becomes now, so we're going to expand this out, right? 4n squared plus 2n plus 2n plus 1. So notice how I've written this still in big brackets, okay? Now let's carry on. Okay, 4n squared plus 12n plus 9. Okay, I just simplified that. Minus 4n squared plus 4n plus 1. Simplified that. Now this is the reason why I wrote brackets. Because from here to carry on now, I need to expand this minus out. So because I've got minus bracket, bracket, I'm going to pretend as if there's a minus 1 here, and then expand this minus 1 out to these 3 numbers. So this stays the same, 4n squared plus 12n plus 9 minus 4n squared minus 4n minus 1. Okay, so what does this simplify into? What does this simplify into? This becomes, so 4n squared minus 4n squared cancels out. 12n minus 4n becomes 8n. And then plus 9 minus 1 becomes plus 8. What did the question even want? Prove that it's always a multiple of 8. Did I prove that? Yes. Because I can factorize out 8. Wow. Look at that, chat. Put W's in the chat if that made sense. That was a beautiful question. That was a beautiful question. Who agrees? Yeah? So guys, I hope that made sense. I'm just going to show you something, what would happen if you didn't write that minus minus or minus bracket. In fact, we don't have time to show you that. Let's just move on. Iterations already came up. Okay. Let's carry on the last few topics. Guys, as well, just as something from us to you guys, we're not going to plug the exam season package anymore. We know there's really not that many exams left. So if you do want to buy, of course, Livestream 40 is still available for you guys. You can still use that code. But if you look at the live chat right now, okay, our moderator has put a newsletter email where you can put your email in. If you put your email on this form, you can get exclusive discounts. Only the live streamers that are watching this will get the discounts for our year 12 resources. So if you're thinking of doing maths, bio, or chem, if you're thinking of doing maths, bio, or chem for A levels, okay, ExamQA, we've got year 12 resources for that, slides, worksheets, notes, all of that stuff. Put your email in the link that is about to be sent right now in the live chat. This link is literally only for the people watching our night before live streams, okay? So put your email in this form that is about to be sent, and you will get exclusive discounts, literally 50+% off in our year 12 resources. And they're just as good as our GCSE ones. So that's if you're thinking of doing maths, biology, or chemistry, okay? So it's just, the link has just been put now. Click that link, put your email in, and that's it. We're not going to sell anything more to you guys. If you do want to buy the exam season package for your remaining paper 3 for maths, paper 2 for chem and physics, you can use that as well. But there's not many exams left, so we'd rather you guys have a better offer and just fill in this form. Okay, guys? Okay. Let's go to the next topic. Okay. Next topic, cumulative frequency. So guys, the link has been put now. Just literally click that link, slap your email in there, and that's it. You're going to get some crazy discounts from us for the Year 12 platform. Why are we giving these crazy discounts to you guys? Because you guys are special guys. You know, you tuned into our night before live streams, you supported us, you subscribed. Yeah, we nearly hit 100k subscribers as well, so we do want to do something special for you guys, which is giving you some really exclusive discounts that no one else gets for our Year 12 resources. Okay, next topic, cumulative frequency. Write this down. Cumulative frequency. Write this down. So let's start the next topic. So we're going to leave the live chat off just for a bit, just in case anyone needs to catch that link. In about a topic or two, we're going to put the live chat back on. You can suggest some more topics if you really want to, okay? But we're doing cumulative frequency now. Okay, if you've got a table like this, it's got a variable here and a frequency here. And it says write down the modal class interval. What does modal mean in maths? Modal means mode. What does mode mean? Most common. So what is the most common interval in this table? You look at the interval which has the highest frequency. Highest frequency is 26, 26 corresponds to 20 to 30. So that would be our answer for the first part, 20 to 30. Okay, that will be the modal class interval. Okay, next thing, complete the frequency, cumulative frequency table. It's very clear what to do here. Cumulative frequency means you add as you go along. Okay, so we're going to add as we go along. First number is going to be the same. Okay, so we're going to write 16. You copy that 16 there. Then the next numbers are going to be added. So what's 16 plus 26? Okay. Where's the calculator? Is the calculator gone?
What?
Any? Do you see it? It's just here. Okay, let's do 16 plus 26 in our head. That's going to be 42, I think. Oh, thank you. My mental maths has gone in the bin ever since I started teaching A-level maths. Okay, the next one, 42 plus 23. You're going to get 65. 65 plus 10, 75. 75 plus 5, 80. Okay, so we've filled in the cumulative frequency table for this question. Once you filled in the cumulative frequency table, they're going to say, draw this cumulative frequency diagram on the next page, okay, on the grid. So how do you draw this? So a lot of people make a mistake here. In cumulative frequency diagrams, you plot the end point with that coordinate. Okay, not the midpoint, you plot the end point with the cumulative frequency. Okay, so 2016 is going to be the first coordinate. So 20, then I'm going to go up to 16. That'll be my first coordinate. Next coordinate, 30, 42. 30, 42. Next coordinate, 40, 65. Next coordinate, 50, 75. And last coordinate, 60, 80. Okay. Once you've plotted all these points, what do you do now? Do you get your ruler and join these lines together? No. So with a cumulative frequency diagram, you do not use a ruler. Rather, you get a pencil now. Of course, you should have plotted these points in pencils as well. And you draw freehand like that. Okay? Do you need to connect this to the 0, 0 part on the axes? In GCSE maths, it doesn't matter. If you really wanted to, you could. And if you left it, it doesn't matter either. Okay? You won't drop marks if you do either or. Okay? So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And that's it. That's your part C done. I've drawn the cumulative frequency diagram. Okay? How do we answer questions based on this diagram? So they're going to give us some extra parts now. Use your graph to find an estimate for the median delay. Okay, how do you get median from a cumulative frequency diagram? So, chat, do I go to the middle number of 60 first, or do I go to the middle number of 80 first? Which one do I do first? Is foundation finished? Yes. Very nice. Chat, do I go to the middle of 60 or do I go to the middle of 80? Oh wait, the chat. Do you want to reactivate the chat? Yeah. Which phone are we using for foundation?
The admin.
Yeah. That's fine. Foundation is just finished now. Pray for the foundation students. It's their last exam tomorrow. They need that grade 5. Good. Go to the middle of 80. Very good. So 80, half of that is 40. We're going to go to 40 and then get a ruler, draw a line to the graph, then draw a line going down and then read off that number. So that number is going to be 28 for us. Okay, that's the median delay. Okay, chat, so whoever said 60, you're wrong. Be very careful there. You might lose 1 mark for no reason. Okay, next thing, use your graph to find an estimate for the interquartile. So you do the same thing, okay? Do the interquartile means upper quartile, take away lower quartile, which is basically the 75%, take away the 25%. And these are both for the y-axis. So what's 75% of 80? Okay, 75% of 80, you can use a calculator for that if you want. Okay, you're gonna get 60. So upper quartile is 60. Draw your line to the graph, then draw your line going down to the x-axis. You're gonna get 38. So upper quartile is 38, take away. And the lower quartile, we're going to go to 20, because 25% of 80 is 20. Then again, draw a line there, draw a line down, and you get 21 this time. So 38 take away 21 is 17, and that is your upper quartile. Does that make sense, chat? Okay, so there's easy marks there. You do not want to skip cumulative frequency, and as well, even if you know cumulative frequency, be very aware of these minor details that you might lose a mark in as well. Okay, you don't want to, you can't afford to drop any marks at this point. So how do I do integral of inverse tan? Okay, this is not A-level maths. You can? Okay. Okay. Sonian ring. What is Sonian ring?
Yeah,
is that exam?
Degree level maths.
What's Sonian? I'm seeing that a lot.
Where?
Sonian. Is that like an exam joke? GCSE exam joke?
Oh, it's onion or sun.
Why?
I'm guessing. I don't know. These guys are chuzzy the way.
Guys, I think we might call it a day there. I think that's all the predicted topics we have. Let me just double check if there is any more. Simultaneous circle theorems. Okay, we have two more actually. We've got two last ones, but it's very late. We've got the simple and hard simultaneous equations, and we've got circle theorems. Chat, should we call it a day? It's too late. Should we call it a day and should we skip these last two topics, or should we do
bounds.
them? Oh, flip a 4 bounds.
Holy.
Huh? Is it? Okay, let's do
They
bounds.
come up on paper too.
Yeah, let's do bounds. Okay, everyone's saying carry on. Okay, fine. Let's smash this out. So there's actually three topics we need to cover. Simultaneous. We might do circle theorems, but the main one we need to actually cover, which we should have done right at the beginning, is bounds. So guys, let's go through bounds right now. And these are the last topics, guys. So please lock in. This is the last maths you might ever do in your life. It's possible. This might be the last maths you ever do in your life. Okay, which bounds should we do? Let's do this. Okay, chat. Say you've got the following question. Can you read this? Yeah, V equals IR. Can you read this? Okay. Try. You guys know the drill already. If you know how to do this already, try get it before me. Get the upper bound of V before me. V equals IR. It tells you I is 7.82 to 2 decimal places. R is this to 3 decimal places. Work out the upper bound for V. Okay. Because V equals I times R, upper bound for V means they want the biggest possible number for V. So if I want to make V as big as possible, I want to make I as big as possible times an R as big as possible. So I want the upper bound of I and the upper bound of R. Okay, because big times big is going to equal big, right? So what do these upper bounds even mean, right? So let's look at 7.82, which was corrected 2 decimal places. 7.82 has got a lower bound and an upper bound. Okay, it's basically the number that it could have been before it got rounded. What's the number it could have been before it got rounded? It could have been two numbers. I'm going to add a 0 to the end of 7.82, so it becomes 7.820. I'm now going to add 5 to 820, and I get 7.825. And I'm going to minus 5 to 820, and I get 7.815. Okay, that's how you get your lower bound and upper bound. Okay, once you get your lower bound and upper bound, what did we say we're going to pick? We're going to pick the upper bound for I. So V equals 7.825 times, and now I'm going to get the upper bound for R as well. So R is 15.256, but I'm interested in the upper bound for R. How do you do that? We're going to use the same method. Put a 0 at the end of the original number. Then once you've got the 0, just do plus 5 to 2,560, and you get 15.2565. Okay, 2,565. And if you wanted the lower bound, of course, you would minus 5 to 2,560, but we're not interested in that. And you get 2,555. Then that would be your lower bound. Okay, but we're interested in the upper bound. So you just times those two numbers. 5. Okay, and what do you get? You get 119.382, blah, blah, blah. But it wants it to 3 decimal places only. So that should have been your final answer. Good. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Very good. Let's carry on, chat, to the next question. I'm going to leave that there for 1 second. Let's move on. Okay, next question is this one. So we've got a fraction here, and they're asking for us the upper bound. Okay, if you've got a fraction, this makes things a bit weird now. If you've got a fraction, and they ask for the upper bound, okay, how do you make this fraction as big as possible? Okay, to make a fraction as big as possible, you want the numerator to be the upper bound, okay, and you want the denominator to be, think about it, if I do a big number divided by, what should the denominator be if I want it to be as big as possible? You need the lower bound. Okay, it's like for example 10 divided by 2 versus 10 divided by 1. Which one is bigger, 10 over 2 or 10 over 1? Clearly 10 over 1. Okay, because that denominator we made it smaller. Okay, because 10 over 2 becomes 5, 10 over 1 just is 10. So that's the logic behind it if you get stuck. So let's go ahead and finish this off. Upper bound of S is going to be 4, so if I just do our technique in a very quick way, 4.155 divided by lower bound of T, 2.5155. Okay guys, put that in your calculator and you get 1.6, and it wants 3 decimal places, so 652. Does that make sense, chat? Chatellini? Chatticus? Chatbibty? Shout out to 8 Catham Close.
What?
I wonder what that means.
That's a straight address right there.
Can I do character analysis on Gerald and quotes for Gerald? Isn't English finished? Guys, does that make sense? Okay, so of course if they wanted the lower bound for V, you would have done lower bound divided by upper bound. Okay, so just memorize those key points, fractions. Okay, there is one more example we could do. I'm not going to go through the whole example, let's just talk about it briefly. If you had this question and they say work out the upper bound for P, so this is when something can be very kind of challenging. To work out the upper bound of P, firstly I need to make P the subject of this. How do you make P the subject? Minus 1 over Q to both sides. Okay, so you get P equals R minus 1 over Q. So if you want the upper bound of this P, you have to be very careful here. I want P to be as big as possible. So should I make R big or small? You make R big, so you do the upper bound. And now, should I make Q big or small? Should I do the upper bound of Q or the lower bound of Q? Okay, given that, I'm doing minus 1 over Q. That's what makes it confusing. Okay, you actually want to do, who's going to write it in the chat for me? If we want the upper bound for P, does Q need to be the lower bound or the upper bound, chat? Who can answer that for me? Grade 9 question. Oh, you see this mix here?
It's a mix.
Very big mix. We want it to be the upper bound. Okay? Why do we want it to be the upper bound? Because we're doing a number take away, and then we want this number to be as small as possible. Okay? Think about it. If I had 10 minus, r equals 10 minus, what's bigger? 10 minus 1 or r equals 10 minus 2? Which one gives me the bigger answer? Clearly 10 minus 1. Okay? Because I get 9 instead of 8. Okay? So if we want basically this to be as small as possible, to make 1 over q as small as possible, we make the q the upper bound, okay? Because 1 divided by, and then you want q to be really big. I hope that makes sense. That is a bit confusing, but it's a bit, so it's one of those hard ones. Okay, and then of course just do the methods that we done before to get the lower bound and upper bound. Okay. Okay, chat. I think literally we want to end for 10:30, so let's just literally do,
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So we're gonna do this, chat. The circle theorem's coming up. Do you think?
And the proof came up in paper 1 for Edexcel.
Yeah.
AQA they already had a flipping circle theorem question. Simultaneous equation though. Didn't
That
come
hasn't
up.
come up in it. Okay, let's quickly do simultaneous.
Both normal and the quadratic.
Yeah. Okay, let's do simultaneous. We're going to do the normal one and the hard one. Okay, if I can even find that worksheet, of course. And then we're going to call it a day, chat.
Chat bit T. We might have to bomb class though.
Do you reckon?
Have to.
Doesn't even have the.
LSE resources.
Oh, I got it. I've got the quadratic, but I don't have
The normal thing.
the normal one, so I'll just make one up.
Yeah, you can make one up on the spot to be honest.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, we're going to do simultaneous, the easy ones and the hard ones. So easy simultaneous, you guys should know this. This should be bread and butter for you guys. Okay, so try to do this before me. Okay, if you have easy simultaneous, that means you've got two equations. You've got an equation like this, maybe 3x plus 2y equals 10, and then you've got a second equation like this, 4x maybe plus 3y equals 4. Okay, what do you do when you have easy simultaneous? And the reason I'm showing you, by the way, if you already know how to do this, is so that you know the difference between an easy one and a hard one. Okay, so even if you know how to do this, make sure you're locked in. When you have these two simple equations, your objective is to make either the x's are the same or the y's the same. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the x's the same. How do you do that? What's the lowest common multiple between 3 and 4? They're both going to 12. So I'm going to do the first equation times 4 and the second equation times 3, so that they both become 12x. Okay, so if I times the first equation by 4, it becomes what? 12x plus 8y equals 40. And I times the second equation by 3, I'm going to get 12x plus 6y equals 12. Once you've made the x's the same, because they're both positive, what we do is we take away these two equations from each other. Okay, so I'm going to do what? This first big equation, take away this second equation. Okay, so 12x cancels out. 8y minus 6y, you get 2y equals 40 minus 12, you get 28. Divide both sides by 2, y equals 14. Once you get your y, okay, you now need to get your x.
Oh, some guys are saying it's 9y.
9y. Oh, yes, that is correct. Whoever spotted that, you should give them a mod. Whoever spot that mistake, give them moderator. Because 3y times 3 gives you 9y. Wow, brilliant stuff there. Whoever spotted that, well done. And this is why, chat, you shouldn't rush. Shouldn't rush when you're in the exam, because it's going to be very hard to spot a mistake like that on your own working out. So minus 1y equals 28. Yeah. So y equals times both sides by minus 1 minus 28. Okay. Once you've got y equals, okay, you then plug that back into either the first equation or the second equation. It's up to you which one you do. So let's plug it back into the first one. So 3x plus 2y equals 10. I'm going to plug it back into here. So 3x plus 2 times minus 28 equals 10. So 3x, and then put that in the calculator, minus 56 equals 10. 3x equals plus 56 to both sides, 66, and x equals 22. So y equals minus 28 and x equals 22. Those are your two final answers. Did you find the person that corrected me?
Bare messages.
So I bet guys are saying 9, so
Okay, only the first. If you can find the first person that said it, they deserve moderator.
nah. If no one gets it, they don't get it. But who's most still?
Okay, guys, this is going to be the last topic we're going to cover: quadratic simultaneous equations. Quadratic simultaneous equation, and then it's a goodbye from us.
They said 5 more likes and then you have to do
100
2 more likes.
squats. 100 squats.
100 squats.
He said he promised them.
How many likes are we on?
It says 1k for me.
That's what I'm seeing as well. 1K.
100 squats.
Okay, guys, look at this. This is called simultaneous equations again, but look, it's slightly different, right? So just because it's simultaneous equations doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Let's try this question. If you already know how to do this, try get the answer before me. If you see 2 equations, but one of them has a squared in it, like the first one, you're going to do the following method. First step, pick the easy equation without the squares, which is, of course, our second equation. We're going to write this out, and we're going to, so first step is we're going to make x or y the subject of the easy equation. So how do I make x or y the subject of this easy equation? Let's make x the subject by plussing y to both sides. So I end up with 3 plus y equals x. I've made x the subject. Okay, or a nicer way of writing this is just x equals y plus 3. Okay, once you've made x or y the subject of the easy equation, you then plug this into the other equation, the quadratic one. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite x squared plus y squared equals 17. Okay, x squared plus y squared equals 17. And I'm going to plug this in, okay, the y plus 3. I'm going to put it in brackets. I'm going to plug it into the y here. So it becomes x squared plus y plus 3, close bracket, y plus 3. Okay, do you see it? Because it's a squared, equals 17. And now, oh, my bad. Sorry, chat, I made a little mistake there. You don't plug into the y squared, my bad. You plug this into your x squared, okay? Because it's x equals. Okay, so this becomes what? So this becomes, instead of x squared, it becomes y plus 3 squared plus y squared equals 17. Another evidence of why you shouldn't rush. Okay, once you got y plus 3 squared plus y squared equals 17, just solve this how you would normally solve this. Yeah? Y plus 3 plus y squared equals 17. And then expand this out and solve it. Y squared plus 3y plus 3y plus 9 plus y squared equals 17. Simplify this, you get what? 2y squared plus 6y plus 9 equals 17. Chat, how do I solve this? How do I solve this quadratic? Is there something I should do? Can I just factorize this, or can I just put this in the quadratic formula? Or is there something I need to do first? I'm looking at the chat. Yes, correct. Make sure it equals 0 first. So minus 17 to both sides first. 2y squared plus 6y minus 8 equals 0. You can just slap that into the quadratic formula, or you can divide the sides by 2, and then you get this. And you can actually just factorize this, luckily. Okay, so if you factorize this, it just becomes y plus 4, y minus 1 equals 0. So the answers is what? For this specific equation, you do the opposite. So y equals minus 4 and y equals positive 1. Okay, once you've got the y's, what can you do now? You finally get the x's by plugging this back in to the original x equals y plus 3 that we wrote in the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to write x equals y plus 3. I'm going to plug y equals minus 4 into there. I'm going to plug y equals 1 into there and get my corresponding x's. Minus 1 and positive 4. And there you have it, x equals minus 1 and x equals 4. What time is it?
It's 10:37.
10:37.
Okay guys, we've run a bit over time, apologies for that. So that is it from us, guys. Tomorrow morning is your final GCSE maths paper, so you guys, I need to smash this. If you found this live useful, then please guys, subscribe to us. We're nearly at 100k subscribers. We really appreciate it. We need that 100k plaque. Yeah, we're going to use that, and we're going to put it on the back of our live streams for next year. And 2026 live streamers are the ones that got us that. Okay, our moderator is going to put the final newsletter again in the chat. Okay, so use that newsletter, put your email in there if you want some crazy exclusive discounts for the year 12 platform. Maths, Bio, Chem. If you're thinking of doing any of those A levels, then you have to put your email in this list, okay? Because only the 2026 live streamers get access to these discounts that we're going to give. Okay, guys? Last tips from myself. It's already been mentioned many times, but this is your last exam, so you kind of know how maths goes. End it off on a high. What does a high mean? You want to get as many marks as possible. You might have flopped paper 1 and 2, no problem. If you can end this paper 3 off on a high, then you've actually saved your grade. That is the literal definition of saving your grade. You can smash this paper 3. What does it mean to smash paper 3? Like Sajid said in the break time, don't leave anything blank. Even if you see something that looks Chinese, try to make some Chinese up. Yeah, you've never studied Chinese in your life, just write some, what's some Chinese symbols? Do you know any?
No.
Do you watch anime?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Huh?
Nah, I don't know. I'm gonna go to the
I forgot what it's called, right? Well, you know Japanese, isn't it? You watch anime.
Yeah, what does that correlate?
Okay, fine.
What does that correlate to?
Pretend that you know Japanese and write some Japanese. Same thing for maths. You might have never seen, or you might have completely forgot equation of tangents and circles. Doesn't matter. You know that maybe you should remember that it's linked to perpendicular lines. So just work out the perpendicular gradient of something that might give you an extra mark. That extra mark is going to translate into multiple extra marks. Multiple extra marks is going to translate into an entire grade. Okay, guys? That might be the difference between a grade 4 and a grade 5. That might be the difference between a grade 7 and a grade 8. And that is what's going to make you grade 6 and a grade 7. That is going to really, save you. You do not want to be those guys that are retaking maths and end up being in those circles and they get into, madnesses, college, they're smoking, they're drinking. Huh? 100 squats.
100 squats.
I'll do it if you do it with me.
Come on. If Arv does it and then he doesn't straight.
If we all three do 100 squats together, I'm on that. But I don't think you guys can even do 100
I can do
squats.
100 squats easy.
Nah, you can't.
Bum to floor.
Bum to floor easy.
Like, come.
Okay, if we all three do it, I'll do it. I'm not just
Okay,
going
let's
once.
see. Let's see.
But what's about to squats?
Should we do it?
No, I feel I have to do it.
Yeah, but what-
Okay, look the other way. I'll look at the thing and we'll do it together.
Yeah, your face will be on it. Come.
Look the other way.
I
Yeah?
want to show it's
Just get away with it.
That's right.
It's exposure to your.
Come.
No, I'll show you one.
Pull your jacket.
I'll show you one.
Okay, let's do 100, yeah?
Oh, that was not.
No, that was
That was not.
No, I didn't crack any.
We
No,
cracked
no,
it.
That was not.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 100 then, yeah? Are you ready, yeah? Come.
Wait. I'll do one.
Okay, 100. No, you can't do 100.
Actually, 100.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. 1,
Guys, count in the chat, please.
3.
Count in the chat.
4, 5. They got 1k likes, yeah?
Yeah, 1K. Like.
6,
Let's
7,
get this on the.
8, 9, 10,
What's going on over here?
11. Come on, quicker. 12, 13, 14, 15,
We need a lower.
16.
The chat is saying we need bump to floor.
17,
This bomb to floor, mate.
18,
They don't know what flipping bomb to floor
19,
is. Oh, flip's sake.
20,
Someone.
21.
Good boy.
22.
Good boy.
23, 23,
Keep
23,
going.
24, 25.
I don't do AQA, but.
You can't do 200, can you?
I can do 100 easy.
Let's get to 100.
I'm not tight.
Let's get to 100.
26,
100, come on.
27,
Come on.
28,
Oh, come on.
Oh, that is
29.
crazy.
I'll
Come,
do
come,
one.
come, come.
I'll
50, 50.
You guys are good. You guys are good.
50.
You guys are good.
do one. I'll do one at least. Do one at least. Go.
I'll do one with the bag. How much does that count for?
That counts
I
for 2
just
for you.
waited, yeah. So once we hit 50,
Go on.
just carry on.
1.
1.
Two. Very nice.
That's how many? 4.
That's
That's
4.
4, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You need about 6
That's
anyway.
enough, that's enough for me, mate.
Go on.
Okay,
Keep
guys.
going, keep it going though. Keep going. I'll be like a cheerleader.
Okay,
I'm like a
51.
cheerleader.
How many you on now?
Come, come.
88.
190,
88,
90, 190.
You got
90,
5 there.
91,
92,
93,
94,
96,
98,
99.
100.
100 done.
Good from us, guys. Guys, well done. Paper 2 for Chem and paper 2 for Physics. You're in the stream. Paper 2 for Chem and paper 2 for Physics is going to be night before live streams as well. So tune into that. We're going to go through predicted topics for all of them. They can really save your grade. Okay, maths is a weird one because it's very intricate and they have lots of depth. For sciences, right, the walkthroughs, you can actually remember those and put them into the exam in practice. So the night before live streams for sciences, that's what I highly recommend tuning into, okay? Subscribe, put push notifications on so you can get the notifications when we do them, and smash your exam, guys. That's all from me. Take care, wish you all the best, and
Are you ending it now?
just try your best, yeah.
Motivation team.
Oh, go. There was the green area, go on.
Oh, wow. There wasn't
Okay, final motivation as well. Come, take the
We
seat.
need some flip farming.
Take the
Yeah,
seat
go on.
here. Whoever's still here and needs some more advice and motivation,
For those depressed lot,
Here we
for the
go.
depressed lot in the chat right now, I've still got my bag on. We'll watch that though. So for the depressed lot in the chat, the guys that are crying over paper 1, paper 2, guys that got bumper lost by paper 1, paper 2,
Get farming to the max.
have to as usual. But you guys are good guys, you know. Like you need to pattern. You need to pattern up because if you don't have confidence going into paper 3, it's over. Pack it up. Yeah, just walk out the exam. You need to walk into paper 3 thinking, yo, I'm moving like Einstein.
So cute.
Can you stop talking, please, Musa? I'm trying to do motivational things.
Someone said you're so cute.
Now, you're trying to move like you're Einstein, like you're Newton. Now,
Go on. Scroll it.
what you need to do
He's constantly
is you need to essentially walk in and forget about paper 1 and paper 2. It's a new thing. You need to attempt everything you're doing. You need to attempt every question, even waffle. If you think you can just pick up a couple marks and you can just think of like stuff that you know and you just put it down. Who knows? Maybe you get a mark. Who knows? You're a lucky guy. You get a mark. You know what I'm saying? So from me personally, it's like a thing of you just want as much confidence as possible. You want as much marks as possible. So you just want to be writing down as much things as you know. As long as they link, of course. Don't be writing like some dumb things. Something.
They are.
Carry on.
Let them flame you, G. I don't mind that. So just walk, walk into that exam, chest out, you got that. And from Mr. Albanian Batman himself to you guys on this last one, it's been a good. Okay, you missed as well. It's been a good time. I've enjoyed it. And from me to you guys,
Well done.
you gotta walk in like an eagle.
Eagle. Wow. This is the end of the live stream, guys. Yes. Let's show the team, guys.
Alright, main mod thing.
Oh, wow.
Main mod, Zesty Z, Elbow Batman, and we've got no face, no case.
No face, no
We
case.
got no face, no
No
case.
face, no case.
Should be a sign up here.
Wow, guys. Look at this guy.
Kai, you're actually such a beautiful guy, you know. Allah Mubarak.
Shut up, man. Zishan, any wise words? Any final words?
We're just trying to figure out how to end the live.
These
This
shots.
is raw footage, guys. We're not.
This is how we are in real life.
This is how we are in real life. This is raw footage.
If you see Zishan on the streets, don't be scared to come.
Yeah,
Zishan, can I get
exactly.
your autograph? Can I get your
Exactly. If you see
autograph?
this guy on the street, attack him.